Hey, Chris. Welcome to the Content Creators University. How you doing today, brother?
Listen, JP, I was good. I was good before we got started, but that intro and all of the graphics and I'm like, man, this is the real deal. So I'm doing better than good now, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. It is an honor for us to have you on the show today as our VIP speaker, man. Honestly, you're doing amazing things. We've seen you, we've noticed your amazing work. And on this platform, we always say we bring experts, and you are our experts today. And we have some folks in the chat. Let's go ahead and give them a shout out real quick before we dive into it. So, shout out to you, First Lady Cree. What's good? Thanks for being in the comment section, family. Thanks for joining us here. We appreciate you guys putting the comment there. Look at my man, Donnie. Hey, Donnie Bryan said, Chris,
Hey,
David. He's the dude,
my
man.
God.
Donnie, we appreciate you. And look at that. The queen of video. She's here. All right. Tanya Smith, Stream Like a Boss TV. She said, what's up? Two of my brothers live. It can be better. Hey, Tanya, thank you because I personally noticed Chris through a conversation live that he had with you on his podcast. And it was so amazing that we decided to reach out to Chris. And Chris, being an amazing folks that he is, right? He's an amazing fellow. He's like, yo, let's do this, right? And we made it happen. And this is really, really amazing. So let's go ahead and dive into it, Chris. Take a minute, all right? Introduce yourself. I know you can do a better job than me. And tell the folks what makes you so amazing, man. Take it away, please.
First off, JP, thank you for entrusting me with your audience, and Tanya, that you're listening. Thank you for introducing. It's a beautiful thing to just see us connect, collaborate, and grow together. I love it. I love it. And I'll say this. I think in life, we don't know early enough to determine or move confidently in a given direction. So then we lean on the advice of others. And those others could be our parents, they could be friends, loved
Mm-hmm.
ones. And that's what it was for me in the beginning. Is everybody around me saw potential and they pushed me down a particular path, and that was engineering. It was, you're good with numbers, become an engineer. And that's what I did. And after completing my degree and working in the corporate world,
Mm-hmm.
it was one of those things where you reach a point in your life where you're like, okay, I can keep doing what everybody is cheering me to do, or I can do that thing, that road that's real skinny and jagged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I can go down. And when I came to that point, and that was the beginning of my entrepreneur career. So I like to say, what I'm doing now was placed in me before I even knew what was in me. And now I'm given the opportunity to put it on display for everybody to witness and see, and also glean from. So when I stopped working in the corporate world, I transitioned into the startup space, which is where I met Tanya, by the way. And working
Mm.
there was the first sign, JP. It was the first sign of a gifting in me that would later reveal itself. And I was working at Lead Pages, and I'm on the back end hooking up the landing pages for all of
Mm-hmm.
these internet marketers and big figures. And I started to see, like, oh, this is how the back end mechanics work when it comes to generating leads and making money. Now let me share this. And there was a sobering experience to this too, because all the people that normal folks follow and listen to, like, oh, they got it together,
Right,
couldn't
right.
drive people to register, right? Weren't pushing
Whew.
more than 5 sales. And it was like, oh my goodness, my eyes opened up and was like, nothing you see online is what it appears to be. Now that was almost 10 years ago, JP. We got AI. We got all kind of stuff now. So if you couldn't believe half of what you saw back then, you really can't believe a tenth of it now. But I say that to say that experience at Lead Pages allowed me to see, hey, wait a minute, you had this gifting around technology and data. In the corporate world, it was valued a little bit. But out here in a different space, look at the impact you can make. And that I would say meant the world to me. It helped me understand, like, I'm really good at understanding software
Mm-hmm.
and marketing strategy. pairing the two to generate revenue. And from then it was just a matter of sharpening the sword. Went to Active Campaign, the director of education there, and got to practice, is what I say, teaching these mechanics to their entire portfolio of customers. And now for the last 5 years, man, my biggest crowning achievement, honestly, as a married man, happily married, by the way, with 3 kids, I'm very active in my kids' life. To be a full-time entrepreneur that makes it optional for my wife to work if she wants to. If she just wants to chill at home, she could do that. Is my most proud achievement. Not the revenue, though. Not the revenue, JP. I love to say, hey, look, I sold over 1 million and out of all that's true, but it's the fact that that freedom of time allows me to
Mhm.
be present for my wife, grow my marriage, and give my kids the environment that they need to grow up healthy and whole, so that they can be healthy contributors to this society, and thus do what I've done even faster, bigger, and
Yo,
better.
yo,
Yeah.
family. Did you realize? Did you realize that was just the first introduction? Yo, when I said it was going to be good, it's already good. All right. This is what I love. This is what I love. I told you guys already about Chris. He goes deep and he is real, right? And that's what we need in this world we live in today. He mentioned something I'm about to get to in a minute. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to the folks that are just joining the show right now. But Dunny said, that's the dream team, dream right there. He said that's the dream right there. Absolutely, right? Because it is an honor for me as well, right? Being a full-time entrepreneur, right? Working, staying home with my family. I mean, it's not given. And so the fact that you're able to do that is a blessing. And we're about to talk about one of the ways you were able to achieve that is through what we're about to talk about today, right? And so we're about to dive into it. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to the one and only Chris Stone. Yo, Chris. He said, great story. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Chris, for being here and listening to his story. Amazing fella as well, Chris. He's an Amazon influencer and, creator. He's a content creator professional that was on this show as well in the past before. He's another expert that we salute to you, Chris. Thank you. All right. So from another Chris to a current Chris, right? Let me say this. You said that it was already in you. It simply was revealed later.
Yeah.
Right? This is leading to my first question that I have for you, right?
Yeah.
Is if you had the chance to give a major piece of advice to yourself, to your 22-year-old self, right? So Chris L. Davis, when he was 22 years old, what would that be and why?
I tell myself, don't box myself in. I'm a very process oriented, proven practices type person. That's another way of saying I don't like variables. I like controlled environments. I like things to fit nice and perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a place for that, especially building a family, giving that security that, through provision, there's a place for that. But sometimes it also creates a prescriptive approach to life. So my younger self thought that making money had to look a certain way. I had to go to college. I had to work a job. And to make more money, I had to work overtime. And that was embedded in my head. So I didn't even allow myself, JP, to even contemplate the possibility of another way until the events in my life forced me to look and think outside the box. So that's what I would tell myself is don't limit yourself and be open. Be open to be exposed to multiple healthy, safe ways of getting a thing done. Because I'll tell you, it's taken me quite a long time to break out of that prescriptive approach to life. Again, as a corporate engineer, serve me well. That's what they want you to do, right? Every
Mm-hmm.
day, that's what you do, and just keep doing it time after time. So it was deeply ingrained. And now I see the limiting factor of that. And, when I look at me, I just needed exposure, JP.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed exposure at a younger age. And I would have, this activation event that took 10 years to occur in my life, could have happened much sooner. Not playing the woulda, coulda, shoulda game, right? We're not playing that, but I'm answering the question as if it were possible to go
Mm-hmm.
into the time travel, you know. And then and lastly, as a PS, I would tell myself, hey, stay focused on your growth. Them girls, they gonna be there. Focus, bro.
Yo, yo, listen, listen. He said it. And he's real on it too, family. And that's the thing. And I'm gonna put this comment from Tanya. It's from Like a Boss. Video Queen right here. She said, "Be open to exposure to multiple healthy in parentheses, right? Ways of getting things done." And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Why? Because today we're talking about this turning leads into gold, how to close the deal fast. And so, one of the first comments that I received is that, oh, okay, this is for salespeople. See, that is going back to what you just said. The mindset that some people have surrounding sales or certain industries and not understanding that it actually affects everyone. When they hear some terms like lead or deal, right? Or close, they instantly think, oh, you got to be in a specific industry. But those are universal terms, right? And we're about to dive into it because if you live and you breathe, trust me, you're always having leads and you're always having the need to close that deal. And AKA, you need to close it fast. And so we're about to dive into it. I'm so excited and so pumped that we're talking about this today, right? So, Chris, let's dive into it real quick, right? The first question I have for you as a professional, right? Based on your expertise, what does a lead mean? So, what is the definition of a lead? And according to you, what is the difference between a hot lead and a cold lead?
Mm-hmm.
Take it away, brother.
Yeah, so I love this, and let me just provide context for everybody. If this is your first time meeting me, I too used to think marketing looked a certain way and sales was a certain way. I was like, oh, those are the used car salesman people or the people that ring your doorbell. At least when I was younger, they would ring our doorbell and everybody would hide. Be like, shh, don't let anybody know that you're in it. I just thought all marketing and sales people were like that. And so I had a bad relationship with marketing because my perception of it was negative. And once my perception opened up and realized marketing is relationship building. And if you're good at building authentic relationships, you're going to be a natural marketer, right? So when it comes to a lead, the easy technical definition is a lead is somebody that you know. Okay? Now, follow me. A prospect is somebody that you see, right? A lead is somebody that you know. So let me go into, I like using the club. I'm not a big clubber, never really was, but it's appropriate. You go into the club, everybody's a prospect by definition. By definition, JP, the minute I introduce myself and shake somebody's hand, they are a lead because I have information. Now, you talk about cold and hot. They're cold, or the temperature of the lead depends on the amount of information I got from them, right? So I could introduce myself to someone. So she says, oh, hey, how you doing? My name is Sarah. Okay, cool. You're a lead? Cold. That's all I got. Talk to somebody else. Hey, my name is Karen and I just graduated this and that. I live over here and this is what I'm looking for. Whoa, hold on. This is a hot lead, right? And the difference is information. I have more information about you. That's what determines the temperature. So for everybody online, website visitors, prospects, people on your social media, prospects. The second you get information, and the information for marketing is an email. That is the minimum required information to turn somebody from a prospect into a lead. Once you have that information, they become unknown to known, anonymous to known, right? That is the barrier. That's the invisible line when someone becomes a lead. Now, I don't like cold leads, everyone. And anybody that knows me, Donnie knows this. I love my data. I love my data. I need as much as possible because that allows me to build the relationship better, faster, more accurately. So a warm to hot lead is somebody that you not only have more information on besides email and maybe first name, but you also have some behaviors, right? They've attended a live session, right? They've
Mm-hmm.
commented, they've gone to the website. You can
Mm-hmm.
see, oh, wait a minute. I'm now I tell people all the time, when someone enters a form, that's like somebody saying something to you. I could say anything. I You don't know my information is real on that form. I can say
Mm-hmm.
whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
But once you observe how I move, oh, now so I don't limit myself to the information that people submit. I also like to use tools like website tracking and attendance trackers to see what they're actually doing. Tell me one thing, but what you do is who you are. So now I have that information. I can use that not to, be slick and, weird, because you can be weird easily online, by the way, but use it to truly understand, like, okay, this is what you're looking for. Do I have anything to offer or not? If not, I can easily refer you to somebody, but I'm always collecting information, JP, so I know who you are and what you're looking for. Because a lot of times I think people assume that once somebody has seen your website and your offers X amount of times, they know. They don't. They still need help. They still need you to help them make that decision in their favor. So it is to your benefit to use technology to capture as much information as you can about your leads ongoing. I'm one of those people, ABC, sales says always be closing, but in marketing, it's always be collecting. I'm always collecting information. I never turn that faucet off because you can never have too much.
Whew. Man, let me put this coming back onto the screen. Tanya Smith, right? Stream Like a Boss TV said, Chris is doing a master class here, y'all. I had to put that back on the screen. And, my man Donnie said big facts in capital
I
because the
know.
things you're saying, it's not that it's new. It's the way you're explaining it. You see, that's the difference between a beginner and an expert, right? An expert is somebody that has the ability to put something that's highly technical into easy terms for everyone to understand it. That's what you're doing, right? And I love how you put it, where everyone is a prospect. It doesn't matter where you go, what you do, who you're talking to. Everyone is a prospect. A prospect is a potential customer. It's somebody that can go from being a friend, being a connection, to ending up in your bank account, right? Paying you for something. And so one thing you said, and I wanted you to elaborate on that for the folks that may not have understood you, is you mentioned something. You said, if anybody knows you, they know you love your data. I knew what you were talking about, right? But for the folks that are like, what does it mean by data? Can you elaborate exactly what you mean by data, and how does that actually impact in a deep way the sale process? Elaborate,
Yes.
please.
Yes, everyone. So I'm an automation expert, marketing automation to be exact. And there is no automation without information. And if I break it down even one more layer, the process of automation is sending and receiving information and taking action on it. Now that could be manual, but we want it to be automated. So when I talk about data, I want you all to think about a customer profile. This is the healthiest way to approach marketing. I don't care if it's online or off. Start with your matter of fact, start with your product.
Mm-hmm.
What information, if you had just a wish list, this is super simple, JP. If you had a wish list of information that if you were given that would make the sale of your product that much easier, that is your customer profile. That is what I call the minimum amount of information required for high conversions on sales, right? So I have a product and I say, okay, I'm selling courses to landscapers. What I
Mm-hmm.
need to know is what zip code. I need to know what kind of neighborhood, right? What kind of neighborhood they want to serve. If I'm selling equipment, let's say I'm selling equipment to landscapers, what kind of neighborhoods, what equipment, is it residential, commercial? All of these questions. If I have that information, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. If you give me a sheet of leads that has all of that information on it, I can guarantee you I can close half of them. Well, now the name of the game is, how do I empower my marketing to collect that information for me? And the reason why I look at it this way is because you all can find multiple definitions of marketing online. Here's the most simplest, effective definition of marketing that you will ever hear, and it's fail proof, future proof. Marketing is the process of getting leads ready for a sale. That's it. That's it, everybody. So, what's marketing's number one role? Qualify the lead. How do I qualify the lead? Collect quality information. Okay. And JP, I'm trying to speak to it simply, but it is strategic, because what I found is when I was training all over the world with these workshops, the entrepreneurs would get stuck. I don't know what question to ask. They literally did not know the type of data they should be collecting. And what does that lead to? Now, JP, we have type forms and all of these contact forms that's asking you 10, 15 questions, and they don't even know what to do with the information because it's not mapped to the required info needed to sell the product more effectively. So when I'm online, I tell everybody, you will not find me without asking a qualifying question. It is extremely hard to get into my funnel without me getting more information from you than name and email. Now, somebody opted into my website and said, Chris, I just opted in and all I put in was my name and email. That may be what you put in, but trust me, how you got there, I tracked, put it in a hidden field and collected that as well. So I know, though I have your name and email, oh, you came from Facebook. Oh, you came from YouTube, right? The process of quality information does not start after you capture the email. It's at the point of capturing the email.
Hold up. Okay. Now, hold up right there. Yo, family, this is a master class on how to turn leads into, money. Yo.
Yes.
Yo, the things you're saying is so valuable. It's insane. Shout out to my man. I call him the king of AI because he's great at using technology. James Hicks. What's good, brother? Thanks for being here with us. We appreciate you. Now, what you're saying is life transformative, right? Yeah. It's so important because one thing that we always say, that I always tell my clients is, listen, the conversation does not start, right, on your website. It started way before, right? And so knowing exactly, let's say, for example, you're selling apparel, you're selling a t-shirt, and you started promoting that t-shirt, because I took that example because a lot of creators in my community have products, right? And so you have a product, with your name on it or whatever, let's say a t-shirt, and you're selling that, and you started a Facebook ad campaign, right? And now you started the ad on Facebook, but you also have an ad on YouTube and then on TikTok and different places. So based on what you just said, right, you have a system, or it is important to have a system to where you can tell that this lead, this person that got to my website to look up this product, came from this specific destination, which is, for example, Facebook. And that may help me tailor or adjust the marketing campaign. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Will that be what you're saying?
Yes. And the technical term for this, everybody, is called source attribution. And the idea is know where you lead from. Okay. Because not all leads are equal, right? If you have a lead that came from a speaking event that you did in person, by nature, JP, because you were able to be in front of them for so long, they're going to be hotter than a lead that's coming to more general Facebook campaign. So I always like to tell people this: if you think temperature doesn't matter, it does. But here's an easy indicator on determining how it matters. If you only had 5 minutes That's it, JP. You only have 5 minutes. Can you go into your contact database now and identify the best way to spend that 5 minutes to convert a sale? Can you do that? Most people's answer is no, because they have no idea who's in their database. It's just kind of like, I'm list building because that's what expert so and so told me to do. I'm collecting emails, I'm running ads. But if I go in and say, hey, look, who's your top customers? Who's your top leads? You got 5 minutes. How are you going to close in 5 minutes? They can't do it. So in your example where you talk about the apparel shop, I want to know just by default. I'm going to assume it's clothing. I want to know male or female. I want to know if you got kids or not, right? If I'm marketing to women, I want to know if you're married, because that's going to increase my chances of making more sales when Father's Day comes around, when your spouse's birthday, right? This is all information. So a lot of times people are so confused at what to do with marketing because they don't have quality information. JP, if I have a t-shirt store and Father's Day is coming around, it's a no-brainer. Let me go hit every female that is married. Hey, get this. Don't wait till the last minute. We're expedited shipping if you get it early. I'm trying to beat all the other Father's Day sales. It takes marketing. It takes the mystery out of it, man. So I can't stress enough that if there's a skill that you need to be honing in for your marketing, it's collecting information consistently. It's everything, man. It's everything. Because again, remember everybody, marketing's role is to send sales qualified leads. Your sales may be a person or it may be a website. Okay. Sales can be anything. Your sales mechanism, website, person, whatever. But the second marketing says, I've got enough information. Ooh, good lead. It sends them to sales. Marketing stops, sales begins. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it, everybody. Let your marketing qualify the lead. Once the lead is qualified for product A, B, or C, send it to the appropriate sales mechanism, the sales event, salesperson, and watch your conversions increase. I'm trying to do a paint by number, make more sales. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, for
now, yo, what you're saying is amazing, because this is what literally we need in today's society, because we have so many entrepreneurs now. You know, it's not like before. Now, to be an entrepreneur is something cool now. So everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but these are the missing pieces into being a successful entrepreneur, or being, you know, an ever struggling entrepreneur, right? And these are things that we need to implement in our businesses. And of course, a little later, we'll talk about how even if you're a small business owner, meaning just a one-man band, right, or two-man band, you can still use solutions to do the heavy lifting for you, and really still get the quality information, quality leads, and qualify the leads, quality information for your leads that you're getting, and really convert them. Like Chris was saying, let me put it into perspective, because I love doing that. Is based on what you said. For example, if I have the information of somebody that may be interested in my apparel, my shop, and I have specific on the gender, I know I have this amount of female, this amount of male, and like you said, Father's Day is coming. So now, because I have a list of all the mothers or all the wives, I can just now tailor an email campaign exclusively to them, telling them early access with this deal, get it for your husband. And so if you didn't have that, you wouldn't know who to send the email to, right? And you wouldn't know when to send the email. And this is something that is transformative, because everybody looking for a deal, especially family, especially, let's say something like Black Friday, right? This is a good time talking about that, like Black Friday. You know what I mean? Like, we all getting ready to spend money. If you live in the United States, we spend money on Black Friday doing Thanksgiving, right? And so people need a reason. That's what I always say. People need a reason to spend money with you. And so we got to give them a reason. Now, Chris, I want you to take a minute and share with the folks a real life story, right? Where the things you're talking about, where, having quality leads really transform the face of a business that or significantly impacted the business growth, right? Share a little story with us of a real life story.
Yeah, absolutely. I would share mine, but I don't want it to feel self-serving. But just know, everyone, I was able to scale my service-based business immensely by collecting the maximum amount of information. The gave me the maximum output. But I'll say this: I love using my wife as an example because my wife is not techie. She is not techie. She is not somebody that loves technology. She is a artist. She's a master at her craft, and she started her interior design company. And she was tempted to go out and build a website and XYZ. Now, JP, who would I be? Her being married to me, why would I let her get distracted with all of those things that don't matter? So what we did is we sat down and we focused on what the product is. We took our time and identified what the product offering would be. And I asked her the exact same questions I just posed to everybody else. And let me parenthetically insert this. I
Mm-hmm.
will never tell you to do something I have not done and vetted myself. This was the importance of the whole intro to me. As an engineer, I live proven practices. I get nervous if somebody tells me to do something they haven't done. So
Mm-hmm.
when I tell you I'll start with the product and ask the questions, my wife and I sat down and we figured out, okay, this is what I need to know to have an effective consultation. This is the amount of information. Now, originally, what does everybody do? What everybody else does. Oh, I just need a contact form, name, email, phone number, message. No, none of that. None of that. We went through and I said, okay, does how much they make, does that matter to you? No, actually, that doesn't matter. So we went through a bunch of questions, came up with six. We came up with six questions, JP. Now, depending on how they answer those questions, it placed them in the appropriate pipeline. Okay. So if you're in pipeline A, you get a phone call,
Mm-hmm.
right? Thus updated it to where you can schedule on the next page immediately. But if you're not qualified, well, hey, we'll reach out to you when we can, but you're definitely not going to get her time because it's a limited commodity. So just by having that simple form up front, I protected her time from her jumping on every call to any lead that came in. And I'll say this, the first version of the form was not the best. We started to realize like, that we actually need more information. So we went back and fine-tuned this form until it was spot on. When the lead came in, she could get truly excited because she was like, babe, look at oh my gosh, look at the size of their house. Look at what they're
Mm-hmm.
looking rooms they're looking at getting done. That's my type of marketing. Like, get excited with the lead that comes in so it doesn't feel like a chore to call. Now, we did that. And in her first year, now let me be honest. It took me about 3 to 4 years in business to clear 50K. I'm just gonna be honest, because I was working full time, I was running my business on the side, but it was a while before I saw 50K. My wife's first 12 months, she eclipsed 50K with
Come on.
one form asking the right information so you could set up the follow-up and close more effectively.
Yo, family. Hopefully, you guys are excited as much as we are here, right? Come on. Come on. And you said something that's so important. We don't have enough time, right? Which is why you cannot just get on a sales call. All right. This is something that I teach all the time. You can't get on a sales call to figure out why the person wanted to meet with you in the first place. That doesn't work. Because, first of all, it's a recipe for disaster. Second,
Yes.
you're not prepared according to the person's specific need. Third, depending on the information you may have collected, you may not have even taken the time to meet with the person to start with, because you will have known either you were the right person for this person or you should recommend them to somebody else that you know, right?
Yes.
Not everyone that gets to your systems that you've set up are the right people for you to serve. And that's also something we need to agree on, that not everyone that comes through, our systems are people that we should take as clients, because we may not be the right vendor for them, the right organization, the right person to help them, right? And understanding the power of referral, recommendation, right, is amazing. It's important. It's transformative, because I've done that so many times. That people that have came back and left me a positive review. Can you believe that? Like, they came back and shared with the world their experience working with me and my company. And their experience was contacting my company, receiving the right information, being recommended to the right people, and getting their service taken care of by other people is a win-win for everybody, which is why I'm loving these things that you're talking about. Let's go ahead and take a quick ad break. When we come back, right, I want us to talk about a few things, right? Effective communication in that, right? Because you gotta, when you get it, how do you communicate with them in order to convert? I want us to talk about that and common mistakes that people are making. Where, you got the right information, because it doesn't stop there. Now you're like, based on the mistakes you're making, you're not really converting them, and you're ever, going in that same cycle, I call it, right? And so we want to learn from you and see what are the things we should avoid, and what are the best ways to communicate with them, or when and how, what, tools do you personally recommend or use, and talk about what you have for the people, right? So we'll talk about that when we come back. Family, stay with me. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. Let's go.
It's luck. I'm so happy. I look so good, y'all. I'm crispy. All right, I'm crispy. I'm done. Listen, y'all. Oh my goodness. Life is a little dull sometimes, right? You can see my colors right now. My colors is a little dull. And sometimes you gotta bring a little bit more life to what you do. Look at me. My boy JP set me up with an amazing LUT. The process was incredible. Before he even sent it my way, he told me how my lighting should be. We got on a Zoom call. We went through all of the settings on the camera, made sure I'm white balanced properly, made sure my lighting was right. Even the foreground and background lighting, he made sure everything was crispy. He let me know what popped with my skin. He made me feel real good. Okay, he made me feel real good. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He made me feel real good. And man, you guys can see going from 0, all right, to hero. Okay, like let me just dial it in just enough. He even gave me the number to dial it in on. Now, some of you may be asking, what in the heck is a LUT? Now, a LUT is all about getting that custom dial-in color grading that you need just for your custom look. It was important to me as I'm growing my YouTube channel, as I'm growing as a broadcaster, as I'm growing as a content creator. I wanted to make sure that all of my coloring was right and tuned in each and every single time I turn on the camera. Every single time I look into the camera and I'm doing a video, I want to make sure I look good. And if you are a content creator, you're going to want to have your own custom look. You don't want to just download one from the internet and you just put it in there and it looks kind of cool. You want to make sure you have something that's custom from you that no one else has, and my boy JP is the one who can make it happen for you. I'm so happy with my product. It's just incredible. Get it today. I'm overjoyed. It's just an amazing quality product, and I appreciate JP so much, man. You just don't know how amazing you are and how great this product is and this LUT. I'm so happy. I look so good, y'all. I'm crispy. All right, I'm crispy. I'm done. Yeah, just get with JP now. Just get with him now. That's it.
All right, family, welcome back here. That was my boy, Jay Dunn. Listen, he was talking to you guys about, having a custom LUT, right? And that's what I use on every single appearance on video that I do. And if you know anything about cinematography, you know a LUT is called lookup table. And that is used in cinematography to have your custom color correction depending on the type of production you want to have, right? And so I have that applied on my broadcast right now, and every single client that we work with, we create custom LUT for them because your skin tone is different from other people's skin tone, right? The type of light they're using, the primary, secondary lighting they're using, right? The colors, the most predominant colors in your studio. There's so much that goes into this whenever we're working with clients to get them their custom LUTs. And so I want to encourage you to get your own custom LUT. Somebody said once well, JP, I can buy a lot online. You can definitely buy any lot anywhere. Here's the thing, though. They didn't take your skin tone, your studio setup, your lighting, and your brand colors into consideration when they created that. And on top of that, they didn't think of if this LUT was going to be created primarily for indoor usage or outdoor usage, right? All those things matter when you create a custom LUT. That's why you need to get yours. So go ahead and visit the website jphightek.com/custom LUT. jphightek.com/custom LUT is what you want to go. Get your own created today. Now, brother, my goodness, welcome back to the show. And this is amazing stuff. This is the second part, right? And wow, the gems I need to go back and hit replay 4, 5, 10 times because the gems are just mind blowing. So I want to thank you for all of that, all the things that you're giving the people free of charge because you get paid the big bucks for this type of information, and we're honored to have you here. Now, of course, we want to get into this other part. Now we understand that we need quality information, right, for our leads. We're going to qualify the leads, and we have that information come into our pipeline. Now we know the type of information, a question we should be asking, or at least we know that we have to be asking quality questions to get quality information. Now that we understand that, the other part is after you've collected that, what happens? Because now you have to communicate with this prospect, right? With this potential lead, right? And so what I want to know is, how do you communicate? Or do you have a one template fits all? I don't believe so, based on how you were speaking. And how do you determine that, effective communication whenever somebody comes to your pipeline? Do you have like an instant automated thing that you send to them, or do you have like some templates on the side that you type in manually, send things out? What's your system, and what system do you use in order to get this done?
Yeah. So the step is every lead that comes into your system, your business should get a follow-up, period. It's unexcusable with the amount of technology and know-how that's available now for somebody to fill out a form and get just radio silence. Okay. That's the first thing. And usually what I find that trips people up, these are some of the common mistakes people make, is when you don't know the quality questions to ask, you either ask too many and scare people away, or you don't ask enough to make your follow-up effective. So what I do have a framework. It's an architecture that fits any business. I've done it in SaaS. I've done it in course creators and influencers. I've done it in e-commerce, and it is as such. Whatever somebody opts in for, and when I say whatever they opt in for, I can't say that without saying the more lead magnets you have to offer, the harder it gets. Okay. Just want you all to know, for those who love jumping in Canva and, hey, I got 5 lead magnets here, I'm ready. No, you're not. You are not ready. You got a whole bunch of confusion that's about to happen, because here's what happens. Whatever they opt in for, they need an email sequence specific to that thing. Okay. And what you want to do is tie in the thing that they just got to the thing that they will get. All right. Now, in order to do that, you have to make sure that what you're offering in exchange for their information is aligned with what you're offering in exchange for their coin. Okay. It's 2 separate asks, but they have to be aligned. And the only way to do that, JP, again, is start with the product. Understand what you're selling. Derive from the product a small portion that you can give away for free, so that when they opt in for that thing, it shows the first indicator that they may like the final product. I liken this to, I call it my sliced bread approach. And that is, if you're selling a loaf of bread, don't give away a muffin. Even if they love the muffin, you ain't got muffins for sale. Right? And they may want bread, and you just distracted them with the muffin. So the thing is, you take your loaf of bread and you take 1 slice out, and that's what you give them. So if they love the slice, they'll follow the crumbs and buy the loaf. right? But what you're giving away for free has to be aligned with what you will ask for in exchange for their coin. Now, a lot of people build their lead magnet first, then go to the product. I'm 100% against that because a product is not something that physically exists in the world. It's something that you clearly communicate in any
Mm-hmm.
shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, JP, I can create a product in my head and say it to you. Hey, JP, I just created this product. It's called the Course Creators Automated Mastery of Delivering Content, and it does XYZ. I just created that right off top. Now, if people were like, Chris, where's it at? And I see the demand, I will then go fabricate it. I will make
Right.
it
Right.
real. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want anybody that says, well, I don't know what my product is yet. Your product is an idea. You need to go vet the idea. And a lot of times you can vet the idea by clarifying the product and then extracting from it a small piece to give away for free. All right. Anyways, so you have this. Now we've got a lead magnet that's aligned with the product. So anybody that opts in for that lead magnet becomes a true lead for the
Mm-hmm.
product that you're selling. I'm saying this kind of quick, but JP, I have to say, when I was at Lead Pages, this was the most common mistake that people made is their lead magnet had nothing to do with their product. And when they started trying to follow up, it was like running uphill in sand in a sand dune. I was watching Curry get ready for the season. And he's in the desert running up the sand. I'm like, that's how most people's marketing is right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're out there sweating, working too hard. So what happens when it's aligned, when whatever they opt in for, you need a 3 to 5 email sequence that speaks to that thing
Mm-hmm.
and connects that free thing to the paid thing. Okay. You don't want to leave it to their imagination and for them to figure it out. Right. Once that 3 to 5 email sequence is in place, you also want to have a feedback loop or an indicator of when they actually buy. Because what do you want to do? If they buy the product, stop sending emails for them to buy the product. Okay. Like these are fundamental. Again, this framework works anywhere. Now, somebody just said, but Chris, they went through the 3 to 5 email sequence and they didn't purchase. What now? Okay. Well, for my e-commerce folks, I like to do a sequence called my best of best or my best sellers, which gives you, a few more emails to just put your best products in front of them. Kind of like oh, and by the way, we have these too. It's
Right.
automated.
Right.
It's a marketing touch point. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that, if they don't convert, you send them into your long-term nurture. That could be a weekly newsletter, a monthly newsletter, a quarter, whatever the case is, some ongoing communication that continue to deliver value and keep you on top of mind. That's the framework. So now, once I have that in place, JP, building it is one thing. Okay. Building it accurately is the second thing. Measuring its performance is the third thing. Optimizing its performance is the fourth thing. And that's just for one lead magnet. You mean to tell me you're going to do that for 5? You're going to do that for 6, 7 leads? You don't have time. You have to stay focused, get your one pathway fully optimized. And what people will find most of the time when people have like multiple lead magnets and all of that, it's because they have no relationship with real results.
Mm-hmm.
So they stay creating stuff with that quick dopamine hit, like, hey, I've created something, feels great. But once you get relationships with real results, you don't have the energy to create something new because you want to keep repeating that thing. Like, how do I get this in front of more people? Because this is making money. So my job as a marketing expert is to get people high, drunk, addicted to sales. It's the best healthy, of course. Not don't put it above your family and all this stuff. Keep it in context. But figuratively speaking, if you can get that hit of sales and that's what you're addicted to, it will save you from all of this mundane, unfocused marketing and social media posting that looks good and doesn't really produce results. So that's what I would say. And in the follow-up, everyone, you're using the information that you collected. Do not collect something that you're not going to use. And what this looks like, JP, is sometimes let's take apparel, you're giving away a 10% coupon for every new lead that lands on or every new prospect or visitor that lands on the website. And in exchange for that 10%, they tell you what their favorite color is. Let's just keep it simple, right? So now in my follow-up, there is software that I could just run a quick if else. So that first email, it's 80% the same, but 20% of it, I tweak it for blue and for red, right? Because I let them select whatever their color is. Maybe I'm just putting in front of them, hey, check out our latest products, all in your favorite color. JP, that's just one sentence, or just updating a link in an email. I duplicate that email 3 times, run the if else. I've got a personalized follow-up based on one piece of information I collected in addition to name and email. It will. There is no, I wonder if it will convert. It will convert more than saying, hey, check out our whole lineup. Hey, look at our top selling red shirts. Look at our top selling blue shirts. You don't have to be a master copywriter and be like, okay, I need a whole sequence for. No, we're just changing a little bit here and there to make that follow-up nice and personalized so that they feel like you're speaking to them, and it makes it a no-brainer to say, yeah, click that link. Yes, I'm going to get more value.
Yo, I got my man Donnie saying genius is flowing.
Yes.
That's exactly what's going on right now, family. This is genius at work. And we're taking note. We're learning from the genius, Dr. Davis in the house today, man. We appreciate that. I just looked up and realized time is up, but I have one question before we ask you for the solution that you can recommend for us to use, and is to ask you, all right, what do you believe, or what is the best way in your professional experience for businesses or individuals that, have systems in place like this for automation to strike the perfect balance between automation that we talked about and to be personal, right? Personalization. Yeah. How can they, what's the balance, or, what would you recommend?
Yeah, I always tell people automation is emulation of manual behavior. If you can't do it, you can't automate it. And it's just a fancy way of saying, do it first. Make sure it works first, then automate it, because it's going to be a multiplier of whatever you put in. Automation, as smart as it is, it's really just a first in, first out. It's a system. You give me garbage, I'm going to give you more garbage, right? On the output. What I tell people is, if you can't speak to somebody in person, JP, listen, everybody is a prospect to me. I'm always working on copy. If I'm talking to my wife, sometimes my kids, I could be working on copy, ordering a sandwich at the local deli. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to test some stuff out and see how you respond to it, right? That's when I see a certain response, that is what I then go put in the system. What you want to refrain from is starting in the system. That you're automating stuff that you hope works. Well, hope marketing never produces real results. So what you have to do is first do the thing. You can't be afraid of the manual labor involved. Send those emails manual first, right? Maybe you don't have enough emails. There was a time, JP, let me share this. There was a time where I was writing a autoresponder sequence one day before the people who opted in. One day before, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, they opted in yesterday, got email number 1. Today, I'm writing email number 2 to put it in the system so it goes out to they didn't know it, but I'm like, I have to do it manually first. Now that it's in the system, it just runs. So a lot of times what people do, which they error and lose personalization, is after not collecting the right information, is they start trying to do stuff that they've never done. Like, you have to, really what you're looking for in your business are repeatable steps. And you can't have a repeatable step if you've never stepped. You
preach. Yo, preach.
trying to keep it simple so everybody can understand. You have to have steps first. So build that process out manually. Figure out what pieces of it work and which don't. Because when you come to somebody like me, the first thing that we do, JP, is not jump into the technology. We map out your process. We see all the steps that are required. And then I go in and ask, hey, is this necessary? Why are we doing this? What's the importance of that? And if it's not necessary and important, we remove it, because when it's time to build that system, you don't want all the extra stuff. You want only the required steps in there. So that is the key of how to establish that balance between personalized and automation. Is most people who are afraid, I don't want to automate too much. They just don't know. They haven't done enough to know what really works. Because automation, again, it's a multiplier. So if you're personalized and you know how to speak to people, you're going to come off more personable. Now, if you don't, you are going to come off less personable and more like a robot. So I'll say this, everybody. It's one thing that I want to kind of tie into, just kind of bring it all together. The fastest way to waste your time is speaking to an unqualified lead. That is the fastest way to waste your time in business. The fastest way to go out of business is to spend your time talking to unqualified leads. Okay, so put it all together. And what we're saying, the importance of everything that I'm telling you, is to keep you in business as long as possible. I'm not telling you this just to sound good, get some nods and some high fives in the comments. These are the keys to longevity. Okay. You're not going to build a business overnight. Do not be afraid to get some dirt under your nails. Okay. Once you've done a thing and you see that it's working, then go automate that thing. This is the process. Maybe people were expecting the sky to part and like this magic software to come that does it all. This is business. This is what we signed up for, everybody. So do it the right way. My tagline is automating your marketing the right way. I'm huge on that. Take the proper steps, do things in order, take the time that it takes. Just take the time that it takes. You'll get there. You'll get there faster, and you'll stay there longer.
He said it, family. He said it. Mic drop. And like we always say, man, the day you stop learning, you stop growing. And I hope you've learned today. I hope you've grown 1% further. But listen, he's the founder of a company called Automation Bridge. Yo, tell us a little bit about your company. What exactly do you do? And how can people take advantage of it for the folks that are interested? Go ahead and let us know, please.
Absolutely. So Automation Bridge, we specialize in equipping digital marketers with the tools to properly assess a business marketing strategy and match it with the proper technology. That's the name of the game. I've got a community of VAs, OBMs, anybody responsible for selecting software for themselves or their clients. We all collaborate, make sure that we're making the best decisions, saving money, and building systems efficiently. It's what I call my life's work. I've got programs and all of that. That's the main offer on Automation Bridge. I will tell you all this as well. In complementary to that, I do a lot of consulting with e-commerce companies and larger enterprises, because believe it or not, everyone, there is not a single company out here of any size and magnitude that is not struggling with the selection of software. JP, it's everybody does. So we come in to those organizations and make sure that their technology is matching their processes. So Automation Bridge becomes the gateway, because I can make disciples of my tutelage. I can multiply myself in the marketplace by helping people learn, how do I strategically select software? And then how do I intelligently implement that software, either for myself, or my clients? So Automation Bridge website, I do have one just for those of you who are on this podcast and watching live. If you go to automationbridge.com/JP, I try to make it simple for him, JP. Okay. automationbridge.com/JP. You can go through a free email marketing course that I have. It's just less than 15 minutes. It'll help you get into it. It'll help you put into play a lot of the things that I've mentioned on that page that JP has on the screen. You can also subscribe to the podcast and take any other actions that you want to take. But that's for you all. You'll get you'll see how I'm following up with folks. And if you do certain things, hey, you and I may end up on a call, depending on your qualifications. Or I may just see you in the community. But JP, I can't thank you enough, man. Everything that I mentioned today, everyone, no strings attached. It's all free. My podcast has over 170 episodes. So just if you need some more time with me, take your time. Consume what you need to consume. I'm not going anywhere. All right. I'm here for the long run, here for longevity's sake. And it will be an honor to have you all learn from me and potentially connect deeper.
Hey, family, go ahead, visit the website right now, automation. What is automationbridge.com, right? /JP. Will that be the URL? Yep. Automationbridge.com /JP, right? Automationbridge.com /JP. And go ahead, family, join for free. Support him because you already know. The things he's talking about is to put that paper in your pocket. If you're watching the podcast right now, I'm showing you the page. Go ahead and say enroll for free. It's big, bold, blue, right in front of you. Go ahead and enroll today. And this is amazing stuff. Yo, Chris, salute, brother. Salute. Amazing stuff that you're doing, man. Like, shout out to you. You're killing it out in the streets. And we need more people like you doing the things that you do. And I want to, I want to give you your kudos publicly, right? Because this is important. This is what impacts an entire generation. This is what moves the needle, right? To the right place, to the right direction. And that's what we need. And family, don't be surprised to see Chris on more stuff with the Content Creators University. I already told him backstage. And so we're looking forward to partnering on some amazing things because listen, we want to bring you guys the best. And of course, Chris is one of the best out there. Chris, thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. Wait backstage as I close with the folks here, and I'll be right with you. Thank you again for coming. We're honored.
Appreciate you all.
Hey, family, as you saw, we just learned a whole lot of things today. All right. And this is what this is all about. We have to level up. We have to put systems in place so that we are ahead of our competition. Again, the website is automationbridge.com /JP. Take advantage of the offer today and connect with Chris, right? Chris is available on all social media, right? Just look for him, Chris Davis or Chris L. Davis. You can connect with him and his company. Go to his website, automationbridge.com, right? That's really, really cool stuff, family. And he's amazing. And if you appreciate what he's saying and what the things that he's shared with us today, let's implement it and let's give him some love, right? Go listen to his podcast and learn more from him for free. That is what this is all about. And let's make, this year and the year coming the best year in our lives yet. We'll be back again tomorrow on the Content Creators University for a live consultation, family. We'll be back at 4:45 Eastern, 3:45 Central Time. And it's about to be good, right? We're about to supercharge live streams for a guest, for a client live, and do it for you guys if you want to take advantage of this offer. Be safe, like we always say. Shalom. See you tomorrow, family. Peace.